Alright, my doggy. Gnarli Widow, King's Row. I already watched like 5 seconds of this. What is this? This is such a meme, dude. Are we going for the meta here? Zarya? Ooh. Okay, where do we put that? In that corner. To guarantee. So nobody's ever gonna like walk like necessarily through here exactly. I mean, they could, but there's no point out of like the spawn doors there to come out and just go for the health pack, right? Which is like right here. Right, so there's no point in doing that. If anything, the most common travel path is up here, up to here, and they'll go either there or they'll come chill at this balcony here. Seeing the meta that we're in, you're likely to see a Hanzo. Hanzo usually sits on this bus here, right? So he'll just chill right here, and he will just pew pew at you. Be careful of these. You can shoot in between these. I abuse this all the time in Masters, High Masters games, where you can shoot through here and has a nice sight line onto the point itself. Instead of putting it like in this area, your best optimal is like putting it right here, right? Because it's not much, but it's additional damage on the push, right? Because if anybody's gonna come, they're gonna come through here, or they're gonna come through here and go behind the statue over there, or they're gonna try to come into the hotel. But regardless, they're gonna brush generally against like this side of the pillar here. So if you put it like right in this region, like on the edge, you could even sometimes put it here, or you could use it as an early detection system, because there's a couple of ways you want to use the Venom Mine itself, right? You want to use the Venom Mine as a early detection system or a means of additional damage. So the means of additional damage would be like trying to get maximum impact. So maximum impact would be to put it in like areas where there's high traffic and as your team is like going to be engaging the enemy. Generally, in like the current meta in the comp, nobody's engaging necessarily at the choke. The fight always starts further back where there's a potential for picks. So there's that, and then you'd either like put the trap at like over here, so you know if someone's coming up the stairs, or you would put it over there at hotel doors, or like at the door itself next to the door, so as they walk in they get hit with it, or the stairs, or like you hide it sneakily over there so that you know that hey, they're coming through hotel. So I already know you're gonna hang out at this spot here, this region here. It's not the best of positioning because the only value you have is a small mini health pack to your left. Another additional problem is that the enemy pretty much has ginormous sightlines over you, right? So if we're looking at statue here, right? Statue's like roughly like in this region here. That's how much it covers, right? There's statue. The choke is gonna like somewhat look like this to you, right? And then here is the door with the balcony that kind of just like spits out, right? And then you've got the balcony itself right here, right? And then you've got like the bus in this region. So the enemy upper door is like over there. Their lower door is like right there. roughish, right? You can kind of see the top of the door from where you're standing. So your Hanzo, although it's 22 seconds in, generally you want to do it at like 8 or like less than 8, right? You want to do it less than 8 seconds into the timer itself. But he did it really early, which means we'll have it off a cooldown again to use it later on, which is not bad. And you get some recon on what the enemy is running. So if anybody's like sitting at the top here, it's either Widow, Genji, Hanzo, some kind of sniper. The problem with this positioning here is that if they have a sniper against your sniper, you don't have much getaway, right? So like, if you're gonna escape, let's say you don't have hook, right? Let's say you used hook to like do a hook shot up or something, or do something crazy. Your means of escape and how much cover you have on your escape and where you end up is crucial. So if you're going back down this alley, sure, you get like a little mini health pack, right? You get the mini, you're like, yay, I'm back to health. But the problem is that it's a stairwell that literally goes this way, right? And it opens up to the choke. So what they could essentially do is just walk their way up and just either kill you at the mini or come up to your high ground and push you out, which is basically your waste of time because that's less shots that you get to take on them, right? Another thing is, like, if you're trying to go across, like a lot of Widow 1v1s is basically playing from angles that the enemy Widow wouldn't necessarily expect you from, or from an aspect where they have too many angles to search for you. So in King's Row's aspect, you've got the statue itself, which by the way you can totally chill at and like peek a corner or like peek in between like the big dude and like the little guy. There's like a little area in between that you can peek from over to there. You can also do like a spawn peek. So if there's like a spawn doors, right? So there's a really cool peek on statue. If you are on the statue on the right hand side of it, so like in this region right here, if you're on that side of it, you can actually get a really sneaky pick. And actually, if you're in the back further high ground, it works even better. So you can like see the top of the spawn doors. So you'll have like that grating that'll like kind of like obscure your vision a bit. But like I said, you can shoot in between them. You can a lot of times easily get a pick between that little grating or those little like fence pokey things. So you can shoot in between those and a lot of times get like a healer pick or like get a really huge pick off of it. So already you're off to like a bad start positioning wise. And generally, like once you're in a game, you don't want to be listening to like anything or like distracting yourself, because this is your setup phase. So almost like a trading card game in a sense, you have a phase where you're setting up on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, right? So as you're coming out of spawn doors, you have to think of, okay, what kind of an angle peek am I going for? Where will I like post up and try to get that first pick or get a quick shot in or like try to make a play, right? And you want to be effective about this. So like I said, generally like the back high ground there is pretty good because you can still see into the spawn doors and get a pick from spawn doors. If they have another sniper as well, you actually have much more optimal cover because like here you're exposing like half your body here, right? If you like go for the peak, like you're like so these are your legs right here, right? So like you're kind of like exposing half your body, so that gives them a 50% area of like vision, right? So they can either dome you in the head or they will take a body shot and get you low. So it's not completely optimal. You want to like expose as little of yourself as possible and using a lot of this natural terrain as cover. So specifically on the back high ground, you've got like the same kind of angle peak, but you also have the stair peak, right? So like you have the stairs and you have the door, and you can just kind of post up here with your little Widow rifle, and you can like do like a little quick head bop, head peek, right? So when they're looking into you, all they're seeing is just like a 10 percentile or 10 percentile of your head. Don't mind my angry girlfriend in the back playing Overwatch. So you just tabbed in. That flicker, I know what that flicker is. That flicker is tapping into a game because it's just about to start. So already, you're off to a bad start. You're not ready. You're at like 2 seconds, 3 seconds before you're like, oh shit, I gotta play this game called Overwatch, right? So here's where you know there's someone here, right? You absolutely 110% know someone's here, although you might not because you were tabbed out, right? Watching that Game of Thrones shit. Not hate on it. I'm just saying, like, you're distracted before the game even starts. Like, you have no idea what's going to be happening in this game. So now you know. Boom, Hanzo. You see him. Oh, fucker. All right, so your placement is not terrible, right? If we go, let's go a little slower on this. Let's go, what the fuck? Go 0.25 times. Right, you're aiming chest. Right. You want to adjust to be a little bit higher. So every character and every hero has like a default stance and a default like character height and hitbox. So you could literally do for like a little bit of training on crosshair placement, because if you were aiming a little higher, that body shot would have actually been a headshot. But that's something that you just get over time, so don't even sweat that. Alright, so Hanzo hopped away. They have a Genji. Okay, they have a Genji. Sure, he used the Flect, but this is your signal of like, get the fuck out of here. Right? So, although he used the Flect, he's going to have dash. He's going to dash into you, which brings him into close range combat. You have a Moira Orb come at you, right? Which in theory does 200 damage.
On Fortnite?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, that's 200 damage.
I hear Fortnite. What the fuck?
Just from that. Just from this right here. This little orb here is 200 damage of succulent damage. So that triggered. I mean, like I said, it's damage done, but it's not necessarily like useful, you know? Like, it's not like your team is engaging and then you trigger that and it's like additional damage per second that's going in to try to help out and secure a kill, right? Especially on like grinds, it's like so crucial. But as Widow, you already apply sufficient amounts of pressure on that ride. So you got this orb coming in, you got the Genji. You need to get out, like immediately, right? Orbs are your worst enemy, especially for Widow, because you have 200 health. So if it does 200 health and you have 200 health, you're dead if you just sit next to this the whole time. For Widow, this is danger. This is a no-go. Like you don't want to hang around these at all, because this will literally like hurt you so much. Like, no matter your positioning, how far you are, like if Genji can just walk up to you and just fucking shoot his shurikens at you and then dash through, and you're instantly dead just from like how much damage this orb is going to do to you over time. Especially because as Widow, you're not the fastest moving character. Your best escape is your hook. So even if you hook away, like you'll maybe take like 50 damage, which dash is like what, 70, right? So that's 120 damage, which means you have 80 health. So if he like melees you for 30, right? You have 50, right? You have 50, and then he can just shuriken you. Like, even any lucky shuriken will just easily kill you. Or like if Reinhardt shoots his hammer or his flame strike down at you as you're trying to get away, you're donezo. You're donezo gunzo. And Moira can just suck you from a distance, so you're kind of assed out. But you opt to stay here. You get the pick. That's good. All right, that's a great start, and you get out. Perfect. Yeah, you took about like 78 damage here. So you know they have a Hanzo. The problem with Hanzo is that Hanzo is spam. It's like Zen prior to the rate of fire change, except for he has this like E ability, which increases his rate of fire to where he doesn't have to like cock his bow. It's just instantly ready, and he just goes, and you're dead. Knowing this, you shouldn't be doing like a straight peek where like you hang out here, right? You just have this. You hold your angle, and you're just chilling here, and you're just chilling here. Especially because they have the bubble, so Zarya used self bubble, which is good for you. Good for your team overall. Probably getting charged off that regardless. And then you have Big Rectangle Man, right? Big Rectangle Man is going to be here as well. You're not going to be able to get damage through this. You want to get damage around it, right? Hanzo has a very like easy angle from here. If he spams like this is tight, right? Tight angles is what you want to avoid against Hanzo, because from his perspective, he sees all of this, and specifically if you're clinging to the corner is basically a marker for him. Like if he just shoots from his perspective, if he shoots in this corner like anywhere like in this region, like you're strafing. Even if you're strafing while you're scoped in, you're gonna get headshot, guaranteed. And there it goes. You took a Zen Orb, and you took like 1 or 2 shots from the arrow. You probably took a Zen Orb and an arrow. Arrow itself is 60, and the orb, I forgot what it was, but basically it took half your health off of his E cooldown, of course, with the new arrows and whatnot. But he took half your health, and then Zenyatta took the other half. So especially if you like lost health, you want to play more conservatively, because there's a lot of things that can kill you easily. Like a Zen, if he headshot you, dead. If a Hanzo shot a regular arrow, dead. That combo right there, like they see you, they're like, oh, Widow's top left, right? They just spam into it just for shits and giggles, just to see if they can hit you and get you and kill you. Boom, you're dead. Flame Strike would have killed you pretty much, almost too. It's 100 damage. But basically at this point, okay, so at this point, you need to play more passively as well here. So this is a good spot. It's not terrible. It does open up sightlines to Hanzo specifically if he's not on point. The other one further back is good too. This, not so much, because you're relatively close to the point, so the enemy team can literally just walk up and be like within like a fucking 3-meter range of you, right? Which is not good. Ryan can technically, if you're standing on the edge, Ryan can jump and swing at you and hit you for 70 immediately. You don't want to kind of hang out here. The reason I say you want to be a bit more passive is specifically because you lost your Ryan and your Zenyatta just died too. So now you have a 4v6. Could be a 5, right? Because you killed the Zen, but that was so long ago. That was at the start of the fight, so it's definitely going to be a 6. Right, because he just waddles his way over here and he's back, right? He's a bit closer than you are, right? So he already has dragons, which is amazing.
I was just fucking with her like.
I'm proud of that Hanzo. He got dragons relatively fast.
Right in front of me, like nothing would happen.
Okay, good, good. This is the cavalry play. Okay, you're being focused. You are at 55 health. Anything can kill you at this point. This is a dangerous play. I hope you don't go for the peak. I hope you try to get to the health pack, but that puts you at a disadvantage versus like the Genji, who's just hanging around out here on the point. If he sees you go in there, he's just gonna climb up and kill you. Easy clap. Right? He's not gonna have any troubles. You're not much of a threat. I mean, he can even deflect your SMG while you're trying to like spurt at him, and he will probably kill you, and you will kill yourself with your own gun. So what was the strategy here? Like, this was good, you got picks, and it helped stabilize a little bit. This is actually like a regroup moment. This is like, okay, we're going to get back into the action after we regroup. Or maybe we're going to try to make a numbers thing. I don't know if you intentionally meant the hook there, or if you fucked up the hook and you try to go for the window, but your best option would have been the actual window prior. Okay, it's not going to let me fucking go back to the exact same point. But,
I need fucking healing.
so that's good, right? It puts damage on Genji. You don't necessarily have to worry about it. I would more worry about getting out because you're in a danger zone, right? You got 2 tanks and a Genji chilling right there. Like, coming to swiggity switty, get your booty, right? So you want to either A, do like a jump down and pray to God Ryan's not swinging because you see he has his shield up, so he's not going to get damage in, and pray to God if there's Zarya is shit at tracking. So your play is to either do the drop, and guarantee the hook to the window. But the problem is Genji's right here. So all he has to do is just
Up top or something.
turn around, and there you are again at now 27 health, a single shuriken away from death. Or you could do the riskier play. Well, they're both equally as risky. You can also do a quick jump and then try to hook for this window right here. And don't forget that you can also do ground hook. So if Genji has used his dash,
What was that?
which he probably didn't, I didn't know, I didn't pay attention. But there's this long hallway here, right, to your left. You can hook onto the ground, right? And then at the end of the hook, you press space, which does a hop, and you jump further away, and you can go to that left room and grab the Mega, which then puts you at an advantage where you can expect the Genji to try and come get you, and you can charge up a shot and basically body shot melee.
I swear to God. I heard Zen say we fried.
Okay, so he did have dash, he just dashed and killed you.
Yeah, baby, come out, push.
That Ryan just got outskilled with charge.
Out of place. What the fuck?
That's funny.
That machine broke. I mean, no, it just felt weird.
Yeah, this is another one of those angles where it's awkward as Widow. This is where you want to focus out their snipers first, especially Hanzo. So the more ballsier and the more effective play is instead of going up here onto this area where you know they're going to be like trying to spam down this alleyway, the more effective is to actually just keep walking straight, go up here,
Yeah, they stole my tasty
go up
cake.
there, and you have that window right there, which you can look onto the payload and get unsuspecting supports sitting on the payload, right? They're just fucking goofing off, chilling about, right? Maybe emoting, doing something crazy. You can get a pick on a support very early. Urine's dead. He's not going to be packed for a while, and you're at a... Well, once you get up there, you're going to be at a 4v6, right? If you go up here, you can try to get some picks and try to make it a 4v4 if both supports are just chilling on the payload. Because generally the tanks push up and the DPS push up, right? So you can try to get the picks to make it a 4v4, and you can see if you can apply enough pressure with these guys to try to stabilize, right? Stop the cart from moving. Or maybe after the supports are dead, the enemy's smart, they're just going to chill back, wait a little bit. Or if they're going to try to go for the high risk play, they're just going to push your shit in. But regardless, you're at a loss here. You're at a huge disadvantage because you don't have big rectangle men. Right? So here you are. You get the pick on the Zen, which is not terrible, but you get picked out by Hanzo. So your team is at a huge disadvantage, and they're all just basically holding forward, feeding.
Okay,
I'm not going to be surprised if anyone else dies here. Which 2 people are below?
No.
3 people are low.
He was so
Okay, Genji, you see him? Sweet, Hanzo got a pick. All right. Your big key target to keep track of is this guy and this guy. These are your danger targets. These are I gotta watch out for these guys. Reason because Genji has lots of mobility, like he can just double jump, or he can just climb up the wall and he can get to you right here, right? You can just show up. You can just throw some shurikens at you, harass you, make you useless. So you gotta watch out for him and for him. He's dead. You don't have to worry about him. You're not gonna worry about this guy. If you know you're away and not LOSing the exact same way they're looking, like the Hanzo and the Genji, like I mentioned earlier, like in the back line, like you can get some really sneaky stuff done. You can focus on these guys, right? If these guys are dead, you focus on these guys. But here's Genji, right? You're already at a disadvantage because you are just now starting to scope in. He sees you. He probably has deflect. He definitely has dash.
Monkey's one.
Alright, so let's see how this plays out. Okay. Good bait. Good mine. Good. Okay. This Genji's a pussy. Okay, he just pussied out, and he gave you that. He gave you that 1v1. Huge. Zenyatta. Well, technically, you actually want to go for the Hanzo, who wasn't shattered here, right? Yeah, because Hanzo's right there. So Hanzo would have been an easier target, and a much more effective target, because Zen just used Trance, right? So that means he doesn't have an ultimate. He's dead regardless. He's not going to do anything. I mean, unless he's going to try to volley you or some stupid bullshit. But this Hanzo is like the biggest threat. Like I mentioned, the Genji and the Hanzo are your biggest threat. You try to go for the Genji, you couldn't hit him. No big deal. You need to reprioritize yourself, because Hanzo's got the long-range battle on you, especially because of that rate of fire, right? So he can shoot a charge, like if he hits you with a headshot, like one of those charged shots is gonna fucking hurt you like a bitch, right? And that's why you lose this, because he literally dinked you. I'm like 99% sure he dinked you, right? 172. Let's see here. He hits you. He hits you for... Boom. That's a headshot. That is a headshot. Yeah, because it's 60 times the times 2 multiplier, right? So he headshots you, you have 12 health. Anything sneezes on you, you're dead. So he had another arrow ready to go, so he just mopped you. The cleanup came through on the Hog, which is good. He got the Zen. No biggie. He took care of your threat, or one of your threats. That could potentially kill you from long range, but the other one already killed you. So that is feels bad, man.
Just, yep. Take all my balls to your face.
Okay. So that's one threat down, right? That's your close range threat. That's your like your harasser threat. That is down. So now we go for the Hanzo. This orb is like literally gonna likely end up killing you. 7 health. Oh. Feels leckers, man. The orb disappeared because its cooldown was coming down. I was so lucky, dude. Holy fuck. That orb would normally have killed you. If it stayed out there even longer, you would have been dead. 7 health, you're gonzo, dude. Okay, same thing. So, Genji's back up, which is a big threat to you. Oh yeah, how did you place that mine? When did we shoot this mine? Alright, so we come out here.
Are you sure?
Where was that mine? Am I like stupid? I mean, I know I am, but...
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Flame Strike takes out that.
Yeah, he was in for a little bit.
Where in the world was that? Was that back on the stairs? It's interesting then. Okay, this is your get distance cue. This is your cue of like not hanging around with your team. So when Genji pops Blade, he gets a dash reset, right? He gets a dash reset. So let's say he's killing this person here, right? He walks a few steps. He could easily dash up to you. He could ignore the Rhine, right? He could dash straight to you.
Yeah, there I'm right there.
In situations like this, if the next target is right here, like here's your Rhine, and you're the next up target, or like close enough to him where you could hook to him, then he can dash to you, right? So if you can hook to Rhine, Genji can easily dash to you. That's roughly how you want to think about it, especially in this kind of situation once he's popped Blade, because he's going to get resets up the ass. So your best option is to just back out right here, because this is lost, right? Because you're going to likely feed him a kill.
Give me link.
If you don't die here, I'm going to be extremely surprised. Okay, you're dead. Yeah, Hanzo's feeding too. He's too far up. He needed to back out too. Like once that pops, you want to get distance, because he can only dash so far, and he can only get dash resets so many times, right? If he kills like 2 people overextended, that's only 2 dash resets. He'll have 1 more. If you're super far away, he can't even, like, he can dash to you, but he won't cover the distance to make it to you. This is not the optimal. I mean, that worked out really well in your favor, because the Genji decided like, no, you don't exist because I don't see you, right? Then he came, he's like, you know what? Wow, he killed Zen. Let me go try to find him again. Well, then he's like, oh, he's not here anymore. Then the Hanzo pushed him out because Hanzo has a lot of close-up pressure because he's a mid to close range sniper, especially with his E ability. So he has a lot of like successive shots that he can shoot real quick that will easily kill Genjis. Like I can duel Genjis all day long on Hanzo, no problem. This angle is perfect. This is a great spot to reposition to. This is like the perfect spot where you want to be because of shit like that, right? Because Ryan will like drop his shield because he tries to go for a flame strike, or like Zarya goes like, I got your bubbled flame strike, or like got your bubbled hammer. That opens up opportunities for you. Plus also the Rhines usually like to move this way a little bit more. Like for some reason they don't all the time like to cover like a little space area here, which then gives you like the perfect peak opportunity, right? Because you're like, you can see everybody in their heads, especially if you have sights up. Yeah, exactly, right? So there he goes, I got you bubbled, Ryan, go shatter. Okay, so he shatters, gets a bubble, drops his shield, and you pick Moira. So things like that is exactly what you want to look out for. I would hit him, but I mean, that's me. So a lot of things when it comes to like finding Genjis and like trying to like take them out before they become too dangerous. Hanzo just won that fight easily. It's a lot about crosshair placement, right? So in a lot of these scenarios, like if we come back to like when he first came out and about, okay, so he's there. So we have infrasight, right? Wait, let's go forward. We have infrasight. We get the Moira. We see the Genji, right? We know the Genji is going there. Like your infrasight's about to end, but you know where he's going. You know his objective is to basically harass either you or your other teammates, or try to get an angle on you and get close to you and take you out. So like I said, like here, like if you see something moving off to the side of your screen that's like separate from where the main battle is, so like a Genji right here, you want to pay attention to what this Genji is going to do. In a lot of cases, in scenarios like this, like if you place your crosshair like roughly around like here-ish, you'll actually be able to headshot him. Because if he jumps out, look at it. Oh! What did I say? Right there. That's your headshot. Right? So if you had noticed this earlier, the Genji going around and going away from the fray, right? And doing his own thing. And you can place your crosshair right there where I marked the X. Right? A little bit higher up, because Genjis usually like to jump here to get a nice viewing angle on what's down below. Right? Because if he comes here, he's only seen this. If he jumps, he sees all of this. So he can either jump, then do another jump, and then dash easily to you, or do a jump towards you, so he'll do a jump, and then dash into your face. Alright, so that's good. You're playing your angles, you're hiding from the rest of your team while you can have an angle on Genji, which is good. Same thing with Hanzo, like, was that, let me see here. Was that Sonic up the whole time? Okay, so you kill the Genji. Like a lot of the wall hacks visions, like they're so useful. So like there's a Sonic. Okay, we don't know where Hanzo is quite yet. Okay, so we see him here. So generally, like if your Rhine, or if the enemy Rhine is standing up here, it's not as useful to immediately look in this region here. Like this area you can technically cut off and not look at. You want to look at the above area, just like right here, like right here, just above his shield, right? Because you're at an advantage. So when you're on the high ground, right? You're on the high ground, and you're looking down with your little high-powered zoom scope thingy, right? And you're like fucking shooting people, and you're trying to kill them, right? You're looking down at, let's say, this is the payload now, right? And the Rhine is holding shield here, right? You have a sight line like this, right? It's technically infinite this way, but you have a sight line like this, right? So Rhine's like right here. He's this big box, right? You can't touch Rhine, right? Because he's behind the shield. But you can touch is over his shield, behind where everybody else is. So if the Rhine's playing like aggressively and he's pushed up, there's gonna be people right behind the shield using that corner, right? Because he's shielding everybody, so they can like really get an effective angle. If the payload's right there too, then generally, yeah, like on top of the payload is where you want to roughly look. and you want to look like a regular character. So like a regular character hitbox is literally this big,
Okay.
right? So it's like roughly this size from this distance. So this size around like generally this area or like right above here is perfectly fine to like immediately place your crosshairs onto.
I want his ass now. Where is he?
Yeah, Hanzo wins this fight. Nothing useful here. Yeah, so this is a good reposition. Be careful of falling down, because I've seen that happen quite a few times. Yeah, good. Okay, not good anymore. Okay, good. Reason I say good is because they were pushing up, like they were trying to push up, I guess, but they were down people, but they were trying to push up. Genji was getting kind of into a close dash range, and Ryan could have charged at you. High ground would have been okay too, because they don't really have necessarily a sniper at this current point in time that can easily take you out, but going to the lower U, the horseshoe, is a really good option here, because you literally have the big health pack there, and you have tons of cover to not get shot at from. So Ryan lands that shatter. Luckily, the payload had not moved too far back where you could get 2 shots in to kill the Zarya. That Ryan won that fight, or that retake attempt. Hog's got that. You're too close to the wall, too close to the corner, too close to the corner, too close to the corner. Yeah. So instead of doing that flick, instead of doing like a flick when you see the target, it's easier to just place your crosshair literally right here, right? Because there's such a thing as a reaction time. So every person has like a default reaction time and then like a optimal reaction time. Generally, your reaction time is not going to be like nobody's going to have a. I mean, there are some people that practice enough to where their reaction time can literally be this fast, right? I can do it. I mean, as soon as I see a red outline, I can take the shot, right? Generally, if it's head height, it's a headshot, right? You can almost guarantee that. You can even get a bit closer depending upon like who you're expecting to come around the corner. But the general guideline and general purpose is to practice the longer ones, especially at like this rank. It's much easier to practice on the longer ones. So the longer pre-positioning is going to be like roughly in this range, or like a little left, a little right. I mean, there's no perfect science to this, but you want to be a little bit further away. The difference is because you know you're not dueling a Widow, so you're not expecting a Widow to like do a small little body peek and try to pick you downrange, right? So you know that doesn't exist. What you do know is they have a Hanzo and all these other heroes and things and Genjis and whatnot. So it's easier to practice your aim here as opposed to super tight to this corner, because here, as soon as an enemy walks around the corner, which is, so if we actually watch this, so like here, right, you're able to react to the Reinhardt, but your shot gets like misplaced because you're.
That Mercy's retarded. Kill her.
Let's slow this down a bit and see if that helps me. Right, so you're able to react and track to the Rhine, but you're making more movements than you need to, right? So you over predicted there, right? So you went for the flick and you over predicted there. Whereas if you had held your crosshair a little ways away from the corner itself, right, there's Reinhardt's head. So if you roughly, instead of holding your crosshair here, where I mentioned, where like you had it, and put it where I mentioned, you wouldn't have had to have like do this flick, right? You did like this over flick. So you tracked them perfectly, and then you flicked, right? So there's a combination of ways you can aim on Widow. There's you're looking at something, and then you flick shot, right? And then there's the tracking shot. So sure, if you haven't seen the video on him doing like the Widow coverage, it's like the best video for you to watch right now, because he covers like both styles. And for him personally, he prefers the tracking style. So he would like track the Rhine here, take the shot. Whereas you just did is you tracked the Rhine here and then you did a flick, right? You want to try to focus on whether you're going to do the tracking style, whichever is honestly comfortable for you is the way you want to go. Do you want to go the tracking style and then take the shot, or are you going to do the combination where you either like place your crosshair here and then you flick?
There's one above you.
Right, you missed a shot because you over flicked. which is not a bad thing. Like it's just like a practice thing. That's just aim that you're gonna get over time. Okay, good positioning here. Although I would prefer that instead of going here, right? Look at how close they are. They're really close. Like they're in optimal range. Genji shurikens could be so like the closer you are to a Genji, the more effective his shuriken's gonna be. The closer you are to a Hanzo, the more effective his shuriken's gonna be. The closer you are to a Reinhardt, the more effective his fire strike is going to be. The closer to Zen you are, the faster, because like there's a travel distance, right? So on Hanzo, on Genji, on anything that's like a projectile based projectile, basically, the closer you are to a target, the easier it is to hit them, right? Like that's a given, right? If you're point blank to someone and you're playing Pharah or you're playing Genji or you're playing Hanzo, it's easy as day to fucking nail some headshots into a target, right? It's also easy at like a certain range. Like let's say Genji's here and he's just throwing some fucking star shurikens at you, right? And you're standing right here, you're dead. Right, because it's like almost instantaneous, like there's no travel time. But if you're all the way over here, right, you're all the way over here, and Genji's throwing the shurikens, not only do the shurikens glow red, you can see their trajectory of like which direction they're going. So let's say like this takes 1 second to travel, right? Depending upon your reaction time, you can react to that. Or like let's say it takes 3 seconds for it to get to you, right? Let's say you have the slowest reaction time known to man, and it takes you 1 second to react. That gives you 2 seconds
Get out, Bastion.
to make a strafe to the left or strafe to the right, right? Makes sense. Same thing for Hanzo. Like you can roughly determine where he's shooting or where he's looking at. Like you can take a look at it from long range. Is he looking at you? Yes? Okay, you should probably move. No? You're good. Take some shots. Oh, he's looking at you now? Okay, you should probably move. Change your trajectory, like do something, because he's definitely got an arrow lined up at your head. So this is a dangerous spot. You want to go back to the top left that you were earlier at, right? Because Genji just goes up here like an idiot. Wow, right? This is like easy territory right here. I would have popped E, I would have jumped at you, and just that's what feels bad. You lost track of the Hanzo. Instead of jumping straight at you like I would, he just used the stairs right next to you to get out of your line of sight so you can't see him, and just walked up and just fucking took a shit on you. Okay, Hog's trying to stabilize. This is perfect. Stay right here. Because the card's pushed up, you don't know how far the enemies become. This is like your initial stance, right? You take an initial stance right side of spawn doors. There's a pillar that you can use for cover, and you can peek left and right, and you can take some shots in, depending if your team like really got pushed in or if they're pushing back. So if they're pushing back, you're like, okay, I can see that push back. So this is a good reposition here, right? Because they're trying to get the fuck out. Ryan can't get out. They don't have a Lucio, so he's fucked. Right. Cool.
One shot, but I can't hit her.
Huge.
Obviously, 'cause,
Big pick, big hook, big shots, big picks. Okay, the res is Zarya. Big whoop. I would have put it like at the bottom here, or like right on the inside of that. Right, because you put it there, someone saw it, they took it out. Genji saw it, they took it out. Good trigger discipline. Most Genjis will try to do that to you. Like they know where you are, they know you're looking at it, they try to pop up, peek, immediately pop, deflect. Okay. Is that their dragons or your dragons? It's their dragons, right? I'm just gonna stop it here, I gotta pee. I'll stop the recording too, I'll just splice it together. Alright, we're back. Alright. Alright, let's go back. Let's recap here. Okay. Whew.
Genji going up there, watch.
Onlookers. Absolute savage.
Farah's going around to try to look for ult.
Clean headshot.
Oh shit.
Right. See, the monkey was there. So,
Alright, I think we lost this place.
let's see. We see the monkey. Zapping our Hanzo. It's 8:59. He's still there. Still there. And like you can tell your hesitation. You didn't think about the monkey until
Rising soldier.
right here. Yep, right there. You're like, oh, there's a monkey.
Soldier's
So they give you
very
4
low.
seconds to realize there's a monkey that you can take easy shots on. When you're at this range and nobody's looking at you, don't AD strafe. That's probably the worst thing you can do. You can honestly take your time. You can take your time, place your crosshair, and just take calm, collected shots. Has a much higher chance of landing those than the ones under pressure. Alright, good chip.
Couldn't, like, get in
This
there.
Mercy's a freaking dunce, dude. Holy shit. Okay, you want to be real careful here. Yeah, you just took a shot from Hanzo. That's the thing. Like once, like here's the perfect example. Once the Hanzo has a beat on you, like that you're standing in this doorway, he's gonna shoot like into
No,
this
just
corner.
down that payload.
He's gonna expect the peek, right? He's gonna expect for you to peek this corner, right?
Oh, shit.
So if he puts it somewhere on this corner, he's bound to get lucky and hit a shot, right? Which he did. Luckily, it wasn't a headshot, but it was a body shot, right? So you want to be careful, like
Fuck
long
me.
angles where you're like really like tight and restricted, and you only have one move. You want to avoid it from a Hanzo. With Hanzo's find like the hardest thing to hit when you're like wide out in the open because you have so much space to move and maneuver around. Plus you have your hook, right? You could like hook the ground and then do a jump, right? And you can get a different advantage. So there's a lot you can do with a Hanzo in the open that you can't do in like tight restricted angles like that. Oh, we tab back in.
It really did. Holy shit.
Okay. The preference is usually top window, right? Top window gives you lookout into this back area here. It's got this big building, right, with the corner. There's the fucking taxi, right? You got like the phone booth over there. So you can peek this angle to see if anybody's going through that doorway, or if they're going this doorway. Then you have this high ground here, right, which leads to that big wall that has the alley with the fucking small health pack, right? You can see this, you can see that, you can see around the statue area, right? You have a lot more vision over what's happening and where people are positioned, and you get a better idea of what your plan of attack is. Here, you're going to maybe see the statue if you're lucky. Alright, so look at this angle. What do you see? What do you see? Where is the enemy? Right? What's going to be your plan of approach, right? You don't know if the Hanzo's there, if he's in the hotel. You don't know if he's like at the back high ground. Is he hotel? Is he on the point? Right? Like, where are your threats? Right? Where is the enemy at? Where are they positioned? What are they doing? How are they holding? Are they all hiding? If they're all hiding, where are they? Are they behind the hotel? Are they all in here doing like a bum rush? Right? So that's why the top high ground here, this is so underutilized in the lower ranks. The door is see-through, right? You can see through the doorway. You can see everything that happens outside. Not only that, but you'll see if they have a counter Widow, right? You'll see if they have the Widow to counter you, if they're going to try to counter you with Widow or not, or if they're going to stick to the Hanzo and the Metacomp, right? What are they going to be doing? Are they positioning somewhere specifically? Did you see the Hanzo go to the right? Maybe the Widow's holding over there, right? You don't know, but if you were up in that window, you could just see through and peek at them. You can see their comp, right? You can, if you know that, like, let's say, so like in the higher ranks, in like the super high ranks, so like the ladder is like this. So this is like bronze. And this is like top 500. Right? This is like top 500. So the curve is like this, right? So here's like 1%. I fucked it up. Right? Here's 1%. And this is everything in between. This is 98%. Right? Once you get into this area, this is actually 0.1% honestly. But once you get into this area, you will know your matchups, right? So you will know who's a good widow, who's a bad widow. This also gets true in like the 4% region, right? This is like Masters and up, right? So this is Masters Plus. So this region, like, you will always play with the same group of people. You will start to see names that you've played with or against before, and you kind of get a profile about them, right? You get like a tactical advantage over knowing what they're good at, what they're bad at, and what their habits and how they play is, right? You figure out like their play styles, if you're gonna lose to it or not. If you've fought this person before, were they good? Were they bad? Right? Platinum not so much, and Diamond not so much. But when you get into like that higher region, same thing, and same thing with bronze. Like you kind of like get to know people, right? Like you kind of start to know them because you play with them a lot. Same thing in like the Masters and above range. Like in Masters games all the time, I like fucking play with someone that I scrimmed against or scrimmed with, or I was on a team with, or they recognize my name, or like some way or another, like they've played with me before and they know about me and they know what my strengths and weaknesses are and how to play around me and so forth. So.
What the fuck is happening?
What I'm getting at is essentially that, like, once you get to that stage, you know how to prepare yourself by utilizing the super underutilized tactic, which is looking through the spawn door so that you can, like, fully see what's going on, right? So, like, what do you do now? Now you're sitting here.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. You're sitting here.
So
this balcony is, like, super poggers. Especially if you don't have like a preconceived notion of like where the enemy is, what their comp is, what they're doing. This balcony is like literally your lifesaver. Like it will fill in the gaps for you. It also has like natural terrain like this bus here, right? But it has like the balcony itself where you can use it as cover and try to get like a peek shot. Okay, so here, this is a feels Batman. I hope he just disconnected and didn't rage quit. Because, like, you held him at 2 points, which is not bad. So, from this angle, you have a big blue man, but they also have a big blue man, right? Big blue shield man. What are you shooting at? Like, what is your pick potential? You're not even on high ground to try to get over the shield, to shoot what's behind it. You're like on ground level with the shield. You're shooting at the shield. Your job isn't like to put damage into the shield necessarily, right? Leave that to like Hanzo, this big boy right here, Hog, right? There's other characters that are much more efficient at it. Your role on King's Row, you can do spam, but you can do from high ground too. Because when you're on high ground, sure, you can do the spam into the shield, right? But you can also see if anyone pokes their head over the top of the shield, right? Which would be much more effective for you. It's an easy pick. Right, like look, he's 80 strafing, and he still has full coverage over this area. The Rhine is 80 strafing, and still has full coverage of this angle. You'd never play this angle. Oh, now you got flanked by Reaper. Do we hear this Reaper at all? Okay, this is about the level I play my game at. Okay, there's an extra footstep. Did you hear that? Right, we hear the lead.
Oh shit, I'm dead. Ooh!
We hear the orb go past us. We hear the flame strike. Like right there, like you heard it. Like just before then. Here. Right? You heard those footsteps, right? It's like duh, 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 and they got louder and louder. and then you heard a thump. Right, that's Reaper coming off the balcony. Right, so he came off the balcony, jumped down to specifically counter you, which, I don't know. It's not really the perfect counter, but I guess it works in this situation because you have literally no awareness of what's going on. And you didn't utilize, like, your most valuable asset, which is that window at the very top that you can get to, that you can look and see into the entire map to see if there was a teleportation. How did the Reaper get there? Did he just walk there? If he walked there, you know he's there. Easy clap, dude. You just go across on that other side, so there's another, like, platform there. You go on that platform, you look into the balcony area, easy pick, right? Okay, now you grapple to, like, nothing, right? Like, right there, like, just before this Moira hit the heel, there's, like, an extra footstep that you can't account for. And then you hear more footsteps, like right here. Drop. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Right. You're being shot in the back. What's your best escape? You can't grapple here. This is off ground, so you can't do that. You could maybe do the bus, but you're still, like, decently within shotgun range. You could use the range to your advantage and use your hook to hook the ground and jump it so that you're further away, right? Pellet spread from the Reaper shotgun. They do less damage at range. You also have the team advantage, right? You could same thing. You could hook here, bounce to your team, right? You have Big Blue Man. He's fending off the front line. You're in the back line getting dicked at. You can rejoin or get distance. Right? So the best option would be to get distance. The reason why is because nobody else knows that this Reaper exists here. You are currently the only individual that is aware of the existence of the Reaper. So your best option is to hook shot the ground, jump away, get distance, do a quick 180, look back, and try to kill the Reaper. This is like one of the weirdest portions of King's Row. You can climb it as Hanzo, you can climb it as Genji, you can jump it as Junkrat with your explosive mines, right? You just blow it up, boom. You can jump over, you can get right on this platform here. With Widow, hookshot is a weird mechanic to where it doesn't necessarily latch over onto things like this fence. There isn't a latch, it's not like an even platform. If this was an even platform and this fencing wasn't here, yeah, you'd make it. You'd make it right on top of that ledge and you could probably just drop down, go hotel, or like do whatever, right? But even then, like if you go hotel, you're like super close range. The Ryan's right there, so like you're dicked out regardless. So your best option is to utilize Widow's strength and just get distance, right? You could have hooked the ground right there, right? The range of that is about equivalent to that. You bounce, you probably hit like right around here, right? That puts a shit ton of distance between you and this Reaper. It's basically the distance from this alley to like around the bus, right? So you get stuck because there's no ledge. I wouldn't even prioritize this. I would immediately just scope in. Alright, now you're fending for yourself. Try to get the health. Oh, nope, you're not going to get it. Right? Because the Reaper's going to know your move. That's your most logical choice, is to find a health pack. What could you have done instead? Let's see here. Right, even in this situation, okay, you're kind of dicked out. Okay, the Reaper straight into the bus. Either A, he's going to try to come close to the bus and around and get you, or B, he's going to wait for you right here. Right? Most people instinctively want to regroup with their team, maybe find a healer, or there's that juicy health pack. Right? Either way, you're getting you some heals. Right? He knows this, you know this, but you don't react to him knowing this, or basically him knowing general knowledge about the game. So you have hook on 3 seconds. He doesn't see you through the bus necessarily. I mean, he could, and this is where you could like kind of fakey forward and fakey backwards and try to buy time to try to hook to this balcony or hook back into spawn, because spawn's really close to you, right? Like he probably sees you through the bus trying to go here. You could fakey backwards. Ooh, he would not have gotten that angle, right?
Oh, now you go up here. Once the fight started and they're already like settled on point. Okay, they're chasing Moira. But Moira came through hotel, so they're like relatively close to this wall. And you have like literally no effectiveness here. The Ryan's an easy picking target if he's already low health. In this situation, as you can see, he gets dinked. He puts his shield up. Mercy heals.
I don't know why.
Right. So now we know they have Hanzo, they have Reaper, they have Mercy, they have Reinhardt, they have Azaria. They have a Zen, right? Is that a Zen? Okay, good. Yep, they have a Zen. You're gonna get pressured out here. Because half your team's already dead. Okay, Old Forest. Mercy's trying to 1v1 you. Mercy's the easiest target because she likes to stick in the air a lot. Especially in Valk form. If she's in a Valk and she's in the sky, that's your cue. That's your moment to shine. Oh! Okay, that's one pick from Hanzo. It split the team. I don't know what that D.Va's doing. Feeding, likely. Huh. That res happened? Pretend like behind this wall, right? It's like this wall goes like down that way. Like right there. Where was Mercy? Like in there. That's a feels bad, dude. That was like a Monka-esque moment, dude, when the fucking whole team runs past the Mercy resing. Oh! Dude, you're popping. I mean, Hanzo's popping more than you, but... Or was that your res? I don't even know whose res that was, but I heard a res very close by. Okay, Brigitte died. Mercy came up. Zen is dead. Yeah, they res the Zen, right? Because like that rank went through there. So like someone up front here. Yeah, right there. Zen got resed. Right here. Monka-esque, dude. At least you got the point. It caused enough of a dislocation of Mercy to commit to the res to where your team could just kill everybody else. Yeah. Because that's their main healer. Zen heal's not going to be strong enough to keep the whole team up. Big pick. Big pick. One's going to get resed. It's Hanzo. Yeah. I would res the Hanzo here too. They could have combo. So this is an awkward stage for Widow. That was nice. This is an awkward stage for Widow because you literally have just this and you have big rectangle man. Unless the enemy is like specifically going out of the way to fucking get out of the shield range, you're not going to be effective here. You can use this platform, but since they have the Hanzo, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you kill the Hanzo, immediately grapple to this right here. Right? The only other threat you have is the Zenyatta, which I believe you killed the Zenyatta and they didn't res the Zenyatta. So Zenyatta's dead. Reaper's not going to have the range to reach you. Hanzo's dead. So your two big threats that could actually reach you at that distance from anywhere else, like in the region of that alleyway or streets area, is dead. So this platform here, this is good. This would be your optimal move because it gives you a better angle on anyone else that might not be playing with, with Ryan's shield, right? Your other option is going around back and go into the like back alley into the distillery, and you can actually get like a decent flank from behind. You can actually take this angle, and you also have that like tunnel area, right? Because there's a tunnel back there, right? And there's that area above. You have that, and then you also have the distillery area. So at this point in time, Mercy's dead, Hanzo's dead, and the Zen is dead, right? So they're all dead. That's 3 down. You won the fight. You either take this perch, or the better option would be to go around back, go into that distillery area up top that's got like that whole like fucking bridge area, right? And there's like the big drum with the fucking pipe going up into the fucking nothingness, right? With a door here. So I would actually peek this. There's like a little stairs here. I would peek this into like their spawn area as they're trying to come out. So the common practice here, and you'll see this in scrims and you'll see this in like even pro games, when you're up ahead and you like kill so many people without losing any on your side, this is a free push. Right? You're gonna push as far as you can, and you're gonna hold those door areas. This doesn't happen in ranked as often. It does happen pretty often, but not as often as you'd think. A lot of people like to stay on the cart for some reason, especially at like the lower elos, like platinum. Like everyone just likes to hug the cart and just like push the cart as 3 all the way to the end. Whereas you could create a stagger situation, right? So if you as Widowmaker, go around the back, go into the distiller area, and you're looking into the spawn, and you pick the Zen again, or the Hanzo, or even better, the Mercy, that is a guaranteed streets phase. You can't even consider it a team fight. You basically got the whole street stage without a team fight. Bad angle. Right? Dude. Just as I say that. Monkaias. So the reason this is a bad angle, so I don't know how you had the preconceived notion that he was here, and I don't know how he had the preconceived notion that you were here, and it is a super feels Leckers man that you won this duel because he was already charged up. Like, he had a pretty decent amount of orbs. He could have just volleyed at you and you're dead. So the fact that you won this is fucking phenomenal. What you see here is like just this area. There's like this whole like back area here that like you could literally have vision into, right? Instead you have like just this. This is what you see, right? This area here. It's not as much of an advantage because you're not utilizing Widow's range effectively. So that was a feels Leckers, man. That was really fucking awesome. That was well done, because that staggers the Zen, unless the Mercy gets a res. So now we go up here. Yep. And now you're in this distillery, winery area. This is the angle I'm talking about, right? Free target, free target, free target, right? There's the Mercy. There's the Reaper.
Wait.
Ryan's coming back now. If you were to react a little faster, I bet you could have killed that Reaper. Yeah, that Ryan's dead. He's stupid.
Oh, get Saw Storm Mercy, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oof. Yeah, see, you move too much. Nobody's looking at you.
Clipping that shit.
You're moving, and you're fucking up your own aim in situations where you don't need to. See, like, so, like, that's the thing. Like, when you're moving, you're doing, like, the smooth tracking, but enemy movements aren't as smooth. Like, Azaria doesn't have mobility, so she can just, like, walk around, and you can track the walking easily. Someone like Mercy, who has a fly, she can, like, go all over the fucking place, right? Reaper's a bit wonky, and, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, wonkiness with hitboxes and animations for, like, walking and movement and shit, but Mercy's your big target, right? Like, you missed quite a few shots on that Mercy. Reason being because, like, you're 80 strafing, like, while nobody's looking at you, nobody's shooting at you. You have no pressure. You have open rain, open shots on any target that you saw in this hallway, and you're 80 strafing. And what that's doing is, like, you're like 80 strafing, you can't track, so you have to flick to the Mercy because she's flying, and because you're flicking, what ends up happening is that you flick too much or you flick not enough, right? You undercompensate or you overcompensate for the movement of Mercy's Guardian Angel. So that's like the big thing. Like, when you're not being pressured, like, nobody's looking at you, dude, you just fucking chillax. Take a chill pill and just fucking take a shot, right? Take a shot you know you can land. Because in a lot of situations, unless you're, like, standing out in the open, nobody's even going to notice you there. Nobody's even going to care about you there because, like, the cart is so close, your entire team is so close, they're going to be like, oh my god, get to the cart. Right? They're not going to worry about a Widow just, like, chilling in a very tight angle, trying to get some picks. Yep. Nope. Oh. There you go. Get out. The moment you see a Ryan 5 feet away from you, you get out. Again, she didn't see you at first. You had 4 seconds to just stand still and take a shot. She's gonna kill you. Oh. 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 The SMG clutch. That's good utilization, honestly. You were lucky you had a healer to help you with that. Again, you didn't need to move. You could have just stood there, taking your time, aimed, taking the shot. Right? Because they don't know you're there until you take the shot. Because, like, it leaves a long streak across the entire fucking map that shows everybody where you shot from. If you haven't taken a shot yet and you just come around the corner and they don't know you're there, they're likely not even going to stare at you. They don't even know you're there. They're not going to look at you. That Reaper's cocky. He knows you have walls, so he's like, hi. Right. This is good jiggle peek. This is exactly how you should be using it. Right? Because they know where you are because you've taken a shot and they know you have walls. So they're going to try to, like, be cocky about it. All the Zenyatas are cocky like that. Yeah, you're not going to win that duel. That's too close of a range to duel a Hanzo. Because, like, it's basically a hit scan at that range. And he has a faster rate of fire with a higher damage output than you do. Good. Again, take your time.
Oh, fuck, they got a jump.
Calm down. This Hanzo still has no idea where you were. Okay. The fucking dragons. Holy shit.
You're actually just saying
So
my
Reaper is in a very static animation when he's doing his ultimate. You also could have, like, literally, like, read him like a book and predicted that he was going to do that. So he kills D.Va. Where do you go? You go up here. There's Reaper. You want to think, when's the last time Reaper ulted? He didn't ult on first point. He didn't ult in Streets phase. The likelihood that he's going to have an ult on third point here is extremely high. So you know he's going to ult soon. When? Who knows? But it's going to happen relatively soon when he finds his perfect opportunity. So he is wraithing out, and he's probably going to get a pocket for Mercy, or he's going to try to. He's going to try to get some health back, essentially. Right. So he goes, like, under. Right there. He's right there. So your Orion is, like, way up front. And the Reaper saw this. So the Reaper, so the strategy behind Reaper, and this is like the easiest thing that everybody knows how to do, is you see big blue man with shield, like big blue shield on the enemy team, and you walk past it. You walk past it and you hit Q. So it's as easy as pie, right? Because let's say this is your Rhine. Here's your shield, right? He's holding this fucking shield up. He's like, get behind me, my friends, right? He's fucking like drinking a beer. Right? Right? He's just chugging that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Maybe he's throwing up. Who knows? But anyway, the team's gonna be like behind him. Right? He's the front line. Right? He's holding it down for you. The Reaper like has an easy flank. He goes behind, hits Q. These people are all dead. Even maybe Ryan dies because he doesn't react fast enough. Right? So I can respect this. He died. Okay. Refocus. Where's the Reaper still? There's a Zenyatta. Okay, so they grab Blossomed. Oh no, there's not much you can do there. It's good. See, like, you're getting a lot of picks, but you're not getting the valuable picks that you need. Like, I'm not saying that your picks are not valuable. I'm just saying that they're not convenient. Essentially, is what I'm saying, right? They might be good picks, but like Mercy has a res, so just res them back up. Or like you'll get a pick that's not necessarily gonna help your team overall. It'll help pad your stats, sure. Like, you know Valk was gonna be up, you knew they were gonna have dragons because they didn't drag it into that grav. Right? The whole purpose to use grav is to combo it with another ultimate. Coalescence, dragons, Reaper ult in this instance. Right? Perfect examples of things that can cause a lot of damage when put inside of a Graviton. Right? So, they use Graviton and they use Reaper ult. So if they use that, the likelihood is that Hanzo either A, didn't have his ult ready yet is the key word, or B, he wasn't alive for it. Right? So that's like the contingency in a lot of these compositions with Zarya, is that like if A dies, who's going to follow up? Right? So if you're running a Hog, Hog's going to follow up with whole Hog. If you have a D.Va, if D.Va's going to follow up with a bomb. If you have a Tracer's going to follow up with a Pulse. If you have a Moira and all your DPS are dead, you Coalescence into it and you just Rhine swing it, right? You're guaranteed to get a few kills. So, They used grab, they used Reaper ult, so you know Hanzo ult was coming.
Is it dead?
Mercy didn't use Valk for a while, so she just did a lot of healing, right? So the obvious thing would be like, oh, okay, she's gonna probably Valk. You're just getting chip damage and you're providing ult to Mercy right now. It's just lucky that you like gave Mercy an escape. Although Mercy could have escaped the Zen as well, so your positioning was off there. Like you were too far forward while everybody else was dead. And also like things like this fire shit here, that's fucking useless, dude. It literally means nothing. It means you're playing the game of Overwatch. Like that's all it means. So this is like no good indicator of how well you're doing. Like sure you're getting picks and things and you're making some good moves, but the bad ones out erase your good moves, right? So like a lot of the things that like you fuck up are so big that it's not going to matter in the end. D.Va bombs, huge bomb. That is massive. D.Va just won you this fight. Another ult. Holy fuck. And he gets on payload to reach you too. So like, Death Blossom is a cone. So like, let's say this is Reaper, right? He's just fucking doing his like, die, 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 right? It functions like this. Right? So everything within his bubble, it's like a Winston bubble essentially once it's hit the ground, right? Everything within this range here is dead. Or it takes damage at least. Dude, D.Va had that one fight for you, easy clap, and then everybody died to fucking Death Blossom and Dragons. That's a feels bad, dude. 20 seconds, they used grab. Moira's low. Moira's probably gonna die because she's not sucking. She's trying to keep Ryan up, which feels bad, man. She's not gonna be able to keep Ryan up. It's like a lost cause. Only time you do that is if you're like trying to stack ult. Oh, she's gone. She knows your angle. Oh, she fucked up. Again? How fast is... Wait a minute. Wait one goddamn second. Holy fuck. Okay. This is where you feed. This Reaper might just be a fucking god, dude. I know, it was the previous fight just before that, right? Okay. Bomb. You hear the Reaper to your right. He's coming up behind. Death Blossom. What a god, dude. That was at 38 seconds. He demexed the D.Va. Dude, that Reaper is like hard carrying. And then somewhere here he gets it again, right? Right, you try to plink at the Mercy, but you didn't fully charge your shot. So 70, is it 60 or 70? I think it's 70% is when a fully, like a 70% charged shot will kill a 200 health target. And there he goes again. 3 seconds, or 0.3 seconds. Okay, so it took him like 20 seconds to get ult again. That's actually insane. This Mercy's gonna win. Unless you scope in, take a body shot. Okay, holy fuck. 40 health in a dream. Yeah, you're not gonna make it. Feels bad. Mercy zoned you out. Right, so far, your positioning needs work, right? Your awareness. Awareness and crosshair placement. Let's do the cursive crosshair placement.
Right. So positioning awareness, crosshair placement. I mean, that's primarily what's covered. Like I said, Sure 4 has a really good Widow video. If you haven't seen it, watch it and study it and like become one with what he says, because he has a lot of good insights that you need to know about Widow before you like main her. Like you decide to be like, okay, I'm gonna play fucking a Poggers Widow. There's a lot that he has to say in there in terms of like tips, tricks, and just overall knowledge about Widow and how to play her. That's gonna like astronomically like fucking help you out. It's gonna be insane. Aside from that, let me know. Holy fuck, the spam. Okay. Muted. Alright, so let me know how you like this format. I don't really like doing the text method because apparently it makes me fucking come off and across like a complete asshole and a dick. So hopefully this gives you more insight, and I prefer it more because it's easier to really discuss more advanced, in-depth things rather than just typing away at a keyboard, because all I do all day at work is type at a keyboard anyway. So I'd rather use my voice and my tools available to me to kind of be more detailed about it. Yeah. So, in case, I don't know if you know anything about me, my name is Jackal. I am on Slex's Discord, and I am like a 3913 or like 12 peak DPS player. I play DPS. I flex DPS, so I play Widow, Tracer, McCree, Soldier, Hanzo, Pharah, Genji. I play Zarya. I can play Rhine. Not confidently enough though, but I'm a pretty decent Ryan. I can do Winston really well, and out of the supports, Ana's my strongest, I'd say, because the closest thing to hit scan that you can possibly get. That and Moira, because you're just tracking with her suck and just like thinking about cooldown management and resource control, which is a pretty good like talent to like thing to learn. So yeah. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, concerns, just feel free to like make a whole list in Notepad or something and just fucking shoot it over to me. Or if you catch me streaming, you just ask me then too, or like whatever is convenient for you. Other than that, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoy. Keep good.